So I also prepared a little bit of something, and I think you're going to hear some common themes as we go throughout the day, because everyone who Stas is such a positive person. And he really did bring people together, even when he's not physically present with us. So, okay. Stas Eric Gray. He was an aeronautical engineer, an avid climber, and adventurer. He was also the mayor of at least 15 places on Foursquare, which I know a lot of people fought him for. He was a friend and a family to many of us. He no longer encapsulates us with his physical presence. However, the impact he created while he was alive still lives in each and every one of us today. And I guess we're all thinking how sad it is that a man of such talent, a man of such strength and power, with so many physical achievements, should now so suddenly be spirited away at the young age of only 31, before he achieved many of the things that he was capable of, and of course before he had as much fun as he could. Stas and I were 17 and 16, respectively, when we met for the first time. And over the last 14 years, I'd say I've only really been able to understand about a fourth of what this kid thought, or how his mind worked. But for all of those who did know Stas, you would agree with me in saying that he was one of a kind. Stas always chose the path less traveled. He always ran the hilliest route. And he always went for the most challenging option, only because he knew that that option would provide the biggest rewards. That's the kind of person he was. He liked to break the rules, and he liked to be stubborn. And he liked to go against the norm. He didn't care really what people thought of him as long as he was comfortable in his own skin. And that's what made him so attractive, and that's what made him Stas. And if he's hearing this right now, he would tell me that I was being way too conventional, too neat, too clearly portraying the proper speech etiquette and speech writing, not nearly arbitrary enough for his crazy lifestyle. Actually, Stas used to tell me that I was only funny about 3 times a year. And not really, that I couldn't really keep up with his ultimately witty and clever approach to life. So, Stas, if you're listening right now, in honor of your outrageous and unconventional, stubborn, yet remarkable, inspiring life, we're here to celebrate, laugh, and remember the amazing person that you are in your own way. With crazy gray curls, tight hipster designer jeans, climbing gear, all while sporting the biggest smile that we can. And hopefully I'll be able to redeem myself for the 1,842 times you didn't find my jokes very funny. I feel like I need to start off with high school. This is where Stas and I met for the first time. This is where we hung out with all of our high school and middle school friends. And for high school, it brought many firsts for him. We were quite young and a bit naive, and there were so many times I wasn't sure where we were headed. But one thing I knew for sure was that when I was with Stas, everything was going to be okay, and no matter what we were doing, we were going to have fun doing it. It seemed that Stas's basement was the hangout for all of our high school and most of our summers preceding it. This is where all the guys, his Atherton High School friends, his Manual High School buddies, and I feel like I have to mention them because they couldn't be here today, but Clay, Oliver, John, Rob, Daniel, Jeremy, Chad, and many other ones, invented some of the craziest ideas. These guys got together and put together ultimate Frisbee teams. They worked out intricacies to the newest invented game, Fireball. And I don't know the details behind that, but they invented a game called Fireball. They arranged 20-person video scavenger hunts. And they also successfully won a year's supply of Krispy Kreme donuts, becoming instant local celebrities in our news feature. And every time we got together, Stas would usually make everyone a Tony's frozen pizza or have the previous night's Russian family dinner ready to devour as we devised our schemes. Stas has always been a teacher and a motivator, and has strived to help people succeed whatever they put themselves to in life, even in his early years as a teenager. On so many accounts, he has shown me how to handle situations, and actually in some cases how not to handle situations. But I wouldn't be the woman standing before you today if it wasn't for him. Just to give you an idea of some of the things he taught me. 1, you should never by any means run the dishwasher and do the dishes at the same time. Obviously the water pressure and the water temperature would be greatly impacted with the faucet being on and therefore resulting in much dirtier dishes. When you have the flu, it's best to go on a 5-mile run, then take a hot shower in order to get your body temperature as hot as possible, and then curl up with a thick down blanket in order to sweat out all of the symptoms. It doesn't work. You must sit in your car and let the engine run for 20 minutes before putting it in reverse or drive, because it will increase the lifetime mileage of your car. This includes when you are running late, when you are starving, and especially when it's below freezing. Every morning you should brush your hair enough times to ensure that you have successfully captured all loose follicles so you don't leave any hair on your clothes, in your car, or around your eating area during the day. And Stas usually had sometimes longer hair than I did throughout the years, and so he was very particular about his hairstyle and how he maintained it. And finally, and I think a lot of you might even know this, you never leave a rotisserie chicken with any skin, meat, cartilage, bone marrow. Stas had this ability to eat every part of the chicken that he could, and I actually have a story when I met my group of friends here in Seattle the first time we went on a camping trip. They brought a chicken, just utilizing the white meat for burritos, but I snuck off in the back and had this chicken in the back, and everyone caught me eating it just like Stas would. Stas and I were together for pretty much all of our first major milestones. We experienced some of our first hangovers. We took our first cross-country road trip. We even went off to college, and which was both an exciting and difficult time for Stas. And believe it or not, he expressed that he was quite apprehensive about leaving his friends and his family in Louisville and living in West Lafayette, Indiana, as he started at Purdue University. How in the world was he going to be able to meet people as cool or as loving as his Louisville family? But as you know, he has such a passion for stretching himself, growing, and taking advantage of every opportunity possible that not only did he obtain his aeronautical engineering degree, row crew for 4 years, he touched the hearts of so many along the way. I think I told Stas that I loved him more than anything else. The second most commonly used phrase that I said for Stas was, "Seriously, you have to be joking, right?" The most memorable moment I had in Stas in college was when I went to go visit him at Purdue for a long weekend. I had arrived a few minutes early and sent him a text letting him know I was there, but he was still in class. And patiently waiting outside his dorm building, I saw this guy in overalls with no shirt on. He was really sporting a really good shoulder-length mullet. And I thought, oh, you're your stereotypical Indiana boy, probably right off the farm, parked his tractor on the other side of the building. A couple minutes later, my phone rings and it's Stas, and he was calling to let me know he got back to his dorm. And so as I walked up to the front of the building, I see Stas walk out, no joke, in a pair of overalls, no shirt on, sporting a sincere business in the front, party in the back hairstyle. And all I could say was, seriously, you've got to be joking, right? Rowing was a huge part of Stas's life in college as well. His Purdue crew teammates were not only his classmates, but his family. I was able to meet many of them when I traveled to the regattas once a month. It was nice to know he was able to create a life so enriched with positive activities and amazing people, even when he was so worried about going off to college initially. Then after college, Stas had the option of working for the Navy in DC or Boeing in Seattle. I pretty much knew at that point he was packing up and escaping the Midwest for bigger and greater opportunities, which meant I had the choice of escaping the Midwest for greater and bigger opportunities as well. And we all know what choice he made, which was an amazing choice. Everyone in this room could agree. And in large part, I have to give Stas credit and thanks for eventually helping me and leading me to Seattle and creating my Seattle family here. We became very close with many fellow Boeing friends and coworkers as I started working for the company in 2007. He had such a knack for meeting new friends. There was not a weekend that went by that I didn't have to meet someone new and I didn't have to go out to dinner with a new coworker or a new friend that he befriended. And it's very apparent now that Stas has always chosen amazing people to surround himself with. And over the last few weeks, I feel very honored to meet those people who were his most recent friends. Climbing was obviously a huge passion he had, and really satisfied his thirst for pushing both his mental and physical boundaries. Whenever we did have the opportunity to catch up, he always was so excited to talk about his climbing adventures and the projects he was currently working on. Other than my family, I've known Stas longer than any other person in this world. The past month has been very difficult for everyone in his life. Family, friends, teammates, coworkers, classmates, coaches, fellow climbers, and even acquaintances. If there's anything I can do today to offer any consolation, it would be to say that the Stas I've known for 13 years would want you to continue to live your life the way he did his. He understood that it was the people he surrounded himself with that made him a better person and pushed him to do things that he might not normally do. Each and every one of you sitting here today has had some sort of impact in his life. Even though he's always been somewhat of a hard nut to crack, I know for a fact that he would want you to challenge yourself, be open to new situations, meet new people, not be afraid of the unknown, and always strive for the best. Over the last couple of years, even though Stas and I were not quite as close as in many years prior, we've always had this unwritten, unspoken understanding that we would be there for each other. I know that even though it might be in a different capacity now, Stas will always be there, pushing me to do my best at whatever I set my mind to, and he'll always be there for